Yo, 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 this is the Kicking It with Kashi podcast, where I drive around in my car and talk my head off because I know that something that I could say could help somebody that's listening. So today I want to talk about self-love. Self-love is this very, very misunderstood idea where it's like, yeah, you need to tell yourself that you love yourself and that you're worthy and that you're good exactly as you are. And I would love to just have the controversial opinion that you are perfect as you are because you're made of the substance called God, yes. But at your core, do you really think that you're perfect? Do you really feel that you're perfect? Do you really think that it's okay to eat McDonald's and to watch porn all the time and drink alcohol and argue about sports and gossip about your coworkers? You know, you're still perfect just as you are because God made you, but are you really okay? Are you really good? Should you love yourself? Should you love yourself as the self that you currently are? And that's not to say, oh, go jump off a cliff. That's not what I'm saying. But if you think that maybe you shouldn't love yourself based on your behaviors, and that if somebody else was behaving in your life, say it was your wife or your husband, and they were doing the things that you're doing, would you still love them? Would you still put up with them every single day and hang out with them and give them a massage before bed? And if you're doing those things that I just mentioned, you probably aren't giving your spouse a massage before bed. But is that what you're focused on and okay with? Is that your standard? So you can still love yourself by giving yourself hard love. I think the best way to love oneself and to practice self-love would be by saying, this is unacceptable. This is absolutely and utterly unacceptable. And I refuse to allow this to be my status quo. And I will, as an act of self-love, do the hard thing and take my life to the next level where I'm actually somebody that's worth loving. I'm actually somebody that deserves a pat on the back, that he just went and he did everything he could for an extended period of time to lose weight, to get a better job, to create their own job. Do you really deserve a pat on the back? And a lot of the things that's going on in society right now is there's this whole thing with fat shaming and certain things like that. And I think that it's just absolutely and utterly unacceptable to tell yourself that everything's okay. It's just delusional. It's the epitome of mental health crises. To say that I'm great, I'm perfect, I'm whole, I'm complete when you're fat and depressed half the time. Because you clearly aren't feeling whole and complete if you're depressed half the time. And if you're fat, your brain works in a very specific way that would make it to where it's inevitable that you would be unhappy or depressed often. And it's up to you to acknowledge that the real self-love, the real way to love yourself would be by, instead of saying, yeah, no, I know society says it's okay to be a victim. I know that I'm fat and that I'm not doing anything about it. I know that I'm unhappy and I'm not doing anything about it. But what I will do is I'll stop that. And that would be the self-love. I will acknowledge that I'm not the person who I want to be, and I'll start to do something about it. I will acknowledge that there's so much more that I could be. So I could be doing so much more for myself, for my life, that I am not doing, and I will start doing that. And I won't tell myself that it's okay where I'm at, because it's unacceptable. I'm unhappy, I'm overweight, I have terrible habits that make me unhappy and overweight, that is unacceptable. And that is the biggest way to practice self-love, is by claiming this is unacceptable. And that's what I did in my life. So don't just think I'm some dickhead on here talking to you about all this with no purpose or place. No, I used to be addicted to drugs. I used to be addicted to anger and to the victim mentality of thinking, oh, well, I wasn't spoon-fed. No one's giving me a trust fund, or I don't have like some crazy inheritance that I'm going to be getting. Like, I grew up and I was given Adderall and Xanax from the doctor, and that I'm depressed and like I'm traumatized. I've seen violent things. I've seen really bad, scary things that I just like really like swimming in that victim mentality mindset, and letting that be my excuse of why I was overweight, why I didn't have good habits, why I was hanging around people that, bless their souls, I love them to death, but that I shouldn't be hanging around. Because if you want to be around people that are going to end up in prison or on drugs and unhappy and broke and desperate and in a real bad situation, if you want to hang out with them, then you should expect that to be what you're also going to be having your life experience like. And nobody wants that. Everybody would want more for themselves. But when we're so caught up in the moment of thinking, well, that's just what it is. That's just my situation. That's how it turned out. That's who I am. Well, whoever you are, whenever you put an I am in front of blank, that is the truth. You are that. So once we can start turning our mindset into, instead of I am somebody who has so much hardship in life, I am somebody that, I've been through so much trauma that I have to do these addictive things and these self-deprecating behaviors to. That's just who I am. That's what it is. So when we can start saying things like, I am acknowledging that life has been hard and that maybe I've made some I certainly have made some terrible decisions that have hurt me very much and hurt those around me, and I am not living into my full potential, but I am 100% willing to look at that part of myself. I am calling upon the me that I know that I want and could be to see what really do I need to do next to be the me that I do want to be the me that I do want to see. I am acknowledging that I have not become the person that I want, but I will, and I am now going to do everything in my power to become and be that person. I am curious at how I could be the best me possible, and I am determined to do just that. I am not going to stop for anything, and I am going to make this shit work no matter how many times I am going to mess up and I am going to fuck off, but then I am going able to pick myself back up, and I am going to be able to tap the fuck back in. So that's what I am, who I am, how I am. I am happy that I'm going to do the hard shit that's going to hurt, and I am willing to feel that temporary pain for prolonged peace. I am unwilling to stay stagnant and to be the person who I am, but I am willing to shine light on that shit and become the me that I know that I could be. So, who do you want to be? Write in the comments who you are, who I am. I am blank. I am blank. Alright. Peace.